times and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. To go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I.
Elixir of life. Because time slows down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
Take over your mind. Let it hypnotize. Feel it in your skin. Slowly it begins. Like a drug. leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe. And I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me.
I feel your heart beating here in this place. Pain has no meaning. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here with you. I know in this life we take what we're given, and the sun may still rise, but your light is missing. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here with you. I wish it were clear why you had to go. I wish you were near. I'll keep you right here beside me. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here. I need to know
broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. When we meet, hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat, bodies laid on the carpet. Eye to eye, glistening, no, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it.
I see you at Simplay Motorsport for another track guide as we are here in France for the next round of the championship at one of the most famous circuits in the world, Le Mans. But we're doing the short version as we are running at the Bugatti. Join us alongside the Simplay Cora as we head towards famous Turn 1, Turn 2, Turn 3, also known as the Dunlop Chicane. Want to have a good run up towards turn 1. It's just a little right hand kink and throw yourself into turn 2 and 3. Track limits are going to be watched a lot around here. The white line is defined as the track limits. Make sure you get a good braking zone. Make sure you hit the apex of the first part of the chicane, hitting the second part of the apex to try and take as much curb as you dare running towards the next section of the track.
I'll tell
the
you
start is going to be very key, very wide open circuit track, but definitely an opportunity to overtake up into turn 1 if you have a decent car underneath you. The very powerful cars like the Mercedes will have a great advantage going up the hill. As you see here, GTR looking to go around the inside. Also, it's a good overtaking position later on in the race as your car goes down the inside of the McLaren and gets the job done, getting the run down towards turn 4. Good slipstream behind it, but trying to send it down the inside as the kink tries to force you to go right, but you can send it down the inside of the left-hand section. After doing the Dunlop Chicane, you then head towards turn 4. Normally the track would naturally carry on going straight on towards the 24-hour layout, but for the Bugatti we'll be taking a tighter line through turn 4, which then will lead you to turn 5 as well. Two very slow apex corners, and it's a tricky corner to get right. Again, track limits will be watched. As we head out of the Dunlop Chicane, as you come towards it, you do not want to be attacking the inside straight away. You want to late apex it. Try and find the apex just in the later part of the track and try and get the best run out of it as you then head towards turn 5. And again, the same kind of concept, trying to take as late an apex as you dare and then let the car run out wide, take as much track limits as you dare, and again the white line is the limits. You can attack into turn 4 if you get a great run out of Dunlop curb, but you do have the chance of running wide. You can see here the Aston Martin not the best running out of the chicane, but we do get the run down the inside, and you can see the Aston has nowhere to go, but there's the Nissan just ahead and the Acura has nowhere to go, but the car naturally runs wide. After turn 5, you then head towards turn 6 and 7, which you could basically class as one corner. Basically a slow apex, a hairpin with a double apex. As the Acura comes down, brakes at the dark patch, clips the first apex, runs a little bit wide to then come and hit the second apex on exit. Misses the second apex, but you get what I mean. But also there's another great opportunity as well. If you had a geared run through turn 5, then turn 6 and 7 are much easier, but you need to make sure you get the run out the corner as well. Down the inside goes the Acura, has the brakes on the GTR, and is able to get a good run behind the Mercedes. After you've gone through 6 and 7, you then head towards 8 and 9, which is the chicane. And again, track limits is going to be watched a lot here, making sure you do not go over that white line. It can be a good overtaking opportunity, but it is very, very risky. You do need to have the good run up the inside. As you can see, yeah, the McLaren having to bail out of that one as we go down the inside. But this is an example where it could go wrong. It's just not far enough alongside, and the McLaren holds on for that lap. Once you're done 8 and 9, you then head towards 10 and 11. Two long corners once again, very slow corners, and again it's all about patience with these ones. You can take this one a little bit more speed. There's a slight banking to the corner, so you are able to attack it a little bit harder, but the other part of that section is a bit more flat and more difficult to get right. As you see here, as they go into the final part of the section, down the inside of the Aston Martin, Mercedes doesn't have the best exit, has to hit the brakes ever so slightly, and we can go around the outside of that section and then into the final two corners, the two right-handers. And again, it's all about track limits there. Do not cross that white line or you will get done for a penalty, and make sure you hit those apexes. Really test the limits there. It's just about as far as you can go, and that is a lap around the Le Mans Bugatti circuit. Another thing to look out for is pit entry. It comes in relatively quick and early. As you see here, this Simplay corner managing to get it just on the nose. The pit lane is on entry here. You brake and you do a little hairpin, and your brake markers come up just there, the red cones. and that is your entry. At the exit, the green codes, you can come off the limiter, but we stay to the left-hand side. Do not cross the white line and join the track naturally, and try not to get in too many people's way, keeping an eye on what cars are coming up behind you. But that's a quick rundown of the Le Mans Bugatti. Best of luck to everybody here. And with what's coming up, the weather should be interesting. There's rain lurking around. Lap records is actually held to qualifying by unorthodox 16 in the Porsche. The race record, Big Boy Brazier in the Audi. And Fury owns all the records in the Mercedes in Pro-Am. Like I said, best of luck to all the guys here this evening. Weather is lurking around. But all in all, this is going to be a great night's worth of racing. Back to the guys in the comms.
Hello and welcome to Simplay. Got the track guide up here with the track length of 4.18 kilometers, which is 2.597 miles for this circuit. It's an elevation changes of 31 meters, which is 101 feet. This track opened in 1965 with it being an FIA grade 2 circuit with 14 turns, and it is a clockwise circuit. Your pro quali record is a 135.3 by an orthodox in a Porsche, and the pro race record is a 135.692 by Big Boy Brazier in the Audi. Most poles are by multiple drivers with one, and most wins by multiple drivers as well as being one. You're joined by me and Smithy in the commentary box here as well. Sorry for the start of that. Got anything to say, Smithy?
Always something to say. I feel like I'm being a bit more voice this week with Callie not being here, but it's a pleasure to have you here.
Yep, always glad to be in the commentary box. Been quite a while for myself not being in the commentary box as well.
I think the last time you commentated on my race, I won, possibly.
It would have been actually. I can't remember what season it was, but I can remember commentating on that because me and Matt was going absolutely wild in the chat. We're now going to go to a standing graphic as I am aware. So I will run you through what the standings are for the drivers and the constructors as soon as it comes up. We'll just start from here. So you've got Overtaker 99 in over McDisco Face Racing in first at the moment. Then we've got an Orthodubs 16 in second. In third, we've got Matahimovic. In fourth, we've got Big Boy Brazier. In fifth, we've got Gary 131. In P6, we've got Peaceful Explosion. In seventh, we've got Impalava. In eighth, we've got Richie 95. In P9, we've got Little Leech 77.4. P10, we've got Holty 009. In 11th, we've got City Apex. In P12, D Biggs, with P13 being Fury, P14 being JM Grill, and in P15, we have Smoky Devil. That is your driver standings as of the minute. Your constructors are going to be a bit like this. Love Island Bombshells in first. Then we've got the I believe that's the Jaeger Motorsport in P2. The Over McDisco Face Racing in P3. In P4 we've got the Ginsters are a proper Cornish pasty. In P5 we have Simplay Racing, with P6 being the Speedy Frogs, P7 being Smoking Hot Racing, and P8 being Teletubby Motorsport. As all your driver standings are on the screen right now, and not long left of this season, Smithy.
No, 3 weeks to go. I'm looking forward to seeing Speedy Frogs this week, being as we're in France, Le Mans.
Yep, being their home circuit, so hopefully they can
Unfortunately, one's got a qualifying ban. I believe we've got 3 people on a qualifying ban. Race 1.
Yes, for quali bans for Q1, we actually have Peaceful Explosion, Fury, and Richie 95. Which are your quali bans. Sorry. Just have a look
It's going to be interesting to see tonight, because I believe if Overtaker wins possibly to double points tonight, if he wins first and second race, that could well be title in the bag.
I believe it might be. You will have to. I wouldn't quote me on this yet. I'm getting used to the new graphics and everything, with it being the first time being in the comms box for such a long time, and it's all changed since I was last in. So we actually in the practice as of the minute, only 8 minutes left of it, which then will be going into the qualifying, which we, like we say, 3 people got the qualifying ban, and it could be interesting because apparently the Audi is absolutely rapid around here.
Yeah, I can imagine the Audi's going to be quick around here. And the Lambo, obviously. I reckon the Ferraris were quite quick last night again, like they were the previous week. So I could see the Ferraris being up there. But unfortunately, like you said, Peaceful has got a qualifying ban race 1, but I'm sure he can still come from the back.
Yes, potentially. It would be nice to see that, but we're gonna have to have a look into the into the race, should I say, because with him actually having that qualifying ban, he's gonna start pretty much smack bang at the back of the grid, as long as everybody is to qualify who is allowed to.
I'm just gonna pinch Kelly's job and have a look in the on the channel and see how many people we've got listening in. 14 people are watching and only 11 likes. Now, I'm not going to beg you like Kelly does, but come on, get the thumbs up.
Oh, yes. We've got plenty of people in the chat. We'll just quickly go through it now. We've got Pierre. Let's go through this again. Hello, PN. Hello, Ian Thompson. Hello, Holty. Hello, Smithy, who's actually in the comments box here.
Multitasking, didn't we? Multitasking.
Oh, yes. As well as myself, who's in the chat as well, but also here. We've also got Mummy D and Fury's granddad in the chat. So hello to all of you. Let's see some love in the chat right now. Say who you think is going to be your pole sitter for race 1. Bit early for now, but you get to see some of the people's pace unless they've got the sandbags in the car. We've also got some facts here as well, as I'm going to just get you in on here. So Dan only needs 1 more pole for his 25th pole. So if he can take pole, which looks like he is actually the fastest car on the grid at the moment, if he can take the pole in qualifying 1, he will actually have his 25th pole. Jamie needs 2 more poles for his 25th, so he kind of needs to be battling Dan for that pole position. We've also got Dan, who also needs 2 wins to get his 50th win, being the first driver to get to 50 wins at the league. So that will be quite a feat for himself, and if I was him, I'd be quite happy if I was able to do something like that.
I'd be happy with 1 pole. I've never had a pole position in about four seasons.
Yeah, but as they say, there's no points for a Saturday. It's all about the Sunday, but for some of the lads, especially Dan and Jamie, it actually means something. Got Audio Sport in the chat as well, doing a top job, boys. Hello, Kelly. There's everyone else in the chat there saying hello to Kelly there. Kelly not obviously being here today to do the comms. It is actually me and Smithy instead of Kelly and Smithy, so a bit of a mix-up for a trek that we haven't actually done for quite a while, Smithy.
I can't say if we've ever have done it together, have we?
I don't believe so. I think
this is the closest me and you have ever got.
It is the closest we've ever got. Yes, if I remember, I was actually in the Pro for when we did this race, and I believe we've only done this race once at Simplay Motorsport, so not exactly a favourite by some of the drivers, but definitely one that could catch a couple off guard.
Well, we're expecting a bit of wet weather as well. That could be very interesting.
Yes, that could spice up the grid a little bit. Bit of rain always helps. A bit of rain makes...
Be nice to see a bit of rain. See Gary 131 coming through like he used to with the wet weather.
Slap the wet tyres on and absolutely fly it. That's what you need to do.
I thought we had a full grid tonight, but we got somebody missing.
I believe there's actually... I don't actually know how many people are meant to be in. Let's have a quick look here. So they are meant to be 15, so we are missing somebody. That is...
Oh, N Plaver. We're missing N Plaver at the moment. And somebody else is just disconnected. Big Boy Brazier's just disconnected. So we're missing N Plaver tonight.
So we've gone back to an old track and the internet issues are coming back. I don't know if that's such a coincidence, but we'll find out for tonight. As, yeah, it is Empalava, and then hopefully Jamie will get back in to be able to get into qualifying. With only actually 3 minutes left of this practice session, and Dan's still sitting in P1 at the moment in the practice, so could be, hopefully, should I say, he'll be able to take that into the qualifying and, well, redeem his 25th pole position, which again is another feat, as well as being able to be near pretty much the most successful driver pretty much at Simplay Motorsport as of the minute.
That's a good little achievement right there.
Oh yes, he's basically the Lewis Hamilton of the Simplay grid. Is there some more people in the chat? Mike Matthews, Jamie Brazier also in here, and Peaceful Stepdad, say hello to all of you.
Big Boy's still not back in yet. He must be struggling with internet trouble.
Maybe he is. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in. He's obviously got he's got the rest of this practice session and up to the end of qualifying to get in, so got plenty of time to be able to get back in. As you obviously drove this last night, and give us a bit of a talk to about how you felt around the track, what you think maybe struggles for some of the drivers, and what you reckon could be some cars' weaknesses.
Geez, you're putting me on a spot, and that's a lot to remember at once. Whoa, I just go around the track every lap at a time.
Just take it as it comes.
I'm quite lucky, really, because I'm in a slow but steady car of the Acura, obviously. I'm not as quick as a lot of the boys around here, but these boys, they can race around any track and they'll all be fast. You can see on the times, 1:34, I think the quickest last night was a 1:36, maybe?
It may have been something
I'm
around
sure,
that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 1:36 last night, Max Mulder.
Can actually find this out, as I can imagine we'll actually be in here somewhere.
But yeah, these boys are always going to be quick, no matter what track they're on.
Yes, indeed, as that's we're obviously watching the Pro here. You kind of got to expect for him to be quick, but you just really want him to be slower so you can feel good about yourself.
The hardest part I found was the last corner that Gary's just gone round. It's like a double corner. You either brake but expect to turn it in one go and it doesn't happen, or you just go straight on. I found it so hard to get around that last corner last night. It was 2 corners in one, basically.
Yes, as through the week I've actually been speaking to Matthew and a few other lads, and they say that this could be actually quite a Acura dominant track, as far as I'm aware there isn't actually any Acuras on this track, but any car which is like the Acura, something like the Audi, should be, in theory, quite good around here.
Yeah, Audi or the Ferrari.
The Audi or the Ferrari.
You can't ever write the Lambo off of the Overtaker.
No, you can't, as he is pretty much smack bang win of this season, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, he's got a 116 point gap between second, which is obviously unorthodox in the championship at the moment. So he's pretty much won this season, but there's still plenty of races left for him to either bin it or disconnect. So we'll kind of see. Hopefully he doesn't, but it could potentially spice the races up a little bit more for him, making him more want to get in the mix to be able to try and win, as he's usually on top. As actually he's not even qualified at the moment according to the overlay, as someone has just left.
Been kicked. Big boy Brazier's struggling tonight. We might not see him race tonight.
So maybe Big Boy Brazier will not be able to get his first of the 2 poles that he needs for his 25th tonight, as he is actually put in the chat, my internet just gone down every 5 seconds. As, like I say, we're going back to an old track that we haven't done for a while, when Jamie used to have his internet connection problems, and all of a sudden they've came back. So that's marvelous for him. Is that is actually, your practice is now over, as this is pretty much what you will hopefully see in the qualifying and or the race. So there are plenty of potential in this, as we are going to actually wait here for...
Only 2 drivers in the 134s, that's surprising. Richie and Dan.
Yes, as maybe they will be the ones to run away with this, but...
Here we go.
Yeah, here's the qualifying. It's been quite a while, but hey, gotta love a bit of qualifying.
Who's out first? Let's have a look. Was that Matt's got a penalty.
Oh, Overtaker's also disconnected. Jamie's disconnected there. Unless that's just mine being really slow.
Yeah, Jamie's the only one that's disconnected. Overtaker's out on track behind Sutty.
Right.
Sutty Apex is out first.
Right, okay. That might be just mine being a bit slow, but nonetheless, Overtaker's in the session, and Jamie should be hopefully back in soon. We shall see about that soon, as that Ferrari there looks like it's already had a bit of a battering. There's a few lads now just obviously getting the tyres warm.
What's Matt got? Who got?
There's Matt.
Has he got a penalty? How do I look? Timings.
As Matt's got a 1 grid place penalty at the moment, which is not going to help him.
No, not what he'd want from the start.
No, he wouldn't want that, and I can imagine that might have been him forgetting to press his pit limiter button. Hopefully, I can imagine he'll be hoping to get the best qualifying position as possible and just absolutely smash it out in the races. When I've spoke to Matt, he does quite often say he's more of a race. He's better in a race than what he is in the qualifying. So, hopefully.
Oh, Big Boy Bravey is in and out. He's in and out quicker than I am in a pit stop on a Wednesday night.
That's marvellous. That is marvellous. But hopefully we'll get back in. Maybe we'll be able to see if we can help Jamie get his internet to stay on for longer than 10 seconds. Bit of a feat, but records are meant to be broken.
We've got Dan in front of the Overtaker then. Looks like Sutty's pitted damage.
Yep, so I must have been right when I say that his car looked a bit battered up. Maybe he's hit the pit wall, or maybe even had a bit of a spin or contact with someone on his way out of the pits.
So, even though we've got these 3 lads that can't qualify, it's never such a bad thing on this track starting from the back, especially with the first corner. So they might not have a bad thing being at the back here on race 1, I don't reckon.
No, they'll be able to just sit back, watch everything unfold, and then just quite nicely manoeuvre around them and claim the positions. So here's the Biggs in the Audi.
Yeah, we've got one, at least he's in tonight for the Ginsters. aren't proper pasties.
Wonder why we made that name up. Brilliant name. So a few of the lads now will be... Oh, there's James Grill, who's actually spun. Not what he would be wanting to do, but definitely will warm the tyres up, with it being a home race, not in terms of racing in his country at the moment. He's going to be wanting to do something good for this race, I can imagine. There's a few lads now putting the laps, as Dan's still on top, so potentially getting his 25th pole position for this qualifying. Then we've got D Biggs down in second with a 1:34.9 as well. So there is actually only just under 5 tenths between those two at the moment, with Matahimovic only exactly 3 tenths behind D Biggs in second. So he's definitely going to be making his positions.
With that grid penalty position for Matt, that's dropped him behind the overtaker as it stands at the moment.
As of the minute, but the overtaker actually in the pits with only 5 minutes of the session. He's kind of going to want to go out and be able to set a better lap time than what he has already done. As many of the lads know, he can be quite a quick driver. And maybe this could be a track which isn't suited for him or suited for the car.
Well, he's got three more tracks to choose from if he wants to save it tonight. I mean, who wants to win it too early? Drag it out.
Drag it out. Drag it out. Just like they did in 2021 in the Formula 1. As kind of had to chuck something in there, because Matt will know what I'm like. Love my Formula 1 statistics. But we're not at the Formula 1 here, we're in the GT, so we're going to have to try and get some GT facts into here. Or at very least, Simplay Motorsport ones. So we're going to actually have a look and see if we can find anything here for the past race here. So I don't believe it will be on here, but either way, plenty of facts, plenty of potential, as Gary just right off there. 4 minutes left in the session as well.
He's the only one yet to set a lap time is Gary.
He's going to be wanting to do one, but I believe the all the teams should be still in for the constructors as well.
We'll just get that up as well. Constructors is close. There's not a lot of points between Love Island Bombshells and Jaeger Motorsport.
There's actually only 3 points between those two, so quite close, and they're going to be really pushing to be able to get that claim the P1 in the constructors, as it may just be out of Matahimovic's reach to be able to get that P1 this season for the championship. He will really need to hope that Dan and the Overtaker will have really bad races for that to happen, but Gary not being is actually Gary only being 31, I want to say, points behind Jamie Brazier, so we can actually make some points back on Jamie as well, be able to claim P4 in the championship.
He will tonight if Jamie can't get in and racing.
Yeah, and that's an even bigger point that I didn't even think of for some reason. Yeah, Jamie's having problems, so could this mean that Gary could pull those very important points that he's going to need to be able to just slowly make himself, get himself into that P4 spot?
See where Gary jumps to. Oh, 5th.
Oh,
he's up there. He's up there, 5th.
He is up there.
D-Biggs had a brilliant qualifying. Up in the 2nd place.
2nd place is, if I am correct, just have a quick look for you here. D-Biggs. So I'm being really slow about this. D-Biggs has only had 2 second... he's only had 2 second place qualifying so far, and they've both been in race 2. His race 1 qualifying isn't anything great, but if he manages to keep it in Q2, as that was a bit of a corner cut there, but if he manages to keep it in Q2, he will actually get his first over anything but above 4. No, I may be looking in the wrong place there. I am.
I'd look away if I was you.
Yeah, it will be his first Q1. It will be his best Q1 position for this season. As
Best qualifying.
Yeah, there you go, that one. As his best qualifying in Q1 so far is only in 6th in the first qualifying. So if he manages to keep it where he is now, he'll actually be able to make that a bit higher. Should help him in the long run. For
James Grill's not having the best of qualifying, considering he's from Le Mans, the French, a speedy frog.
He's
His teammate only 2 places behind him and not qualifying as well. And they're not going to get many points at this rate.
No, and as we all know, James Grill can be quite a decent driver as well on his day. Just hope this will actually be his final lap. In fact, I think this will be pretty much all drivers' final laps of the qualifying.
Big boy Brage is out on track. However long he can stay out there for is the question.
Yes, that is the real question. Is there you can see Jamie Brazier ghosting, I believe that is through Overtaker at the moment.
Yeah.
As Overtaker actually qualified in P3 at the moment, so I believe that's these guys look like they have actually got another lap, so potentially he could go quicker. As is Sooty Apex with the dented front bumper.
Race 1 winner from last week.
Ooh.
Be nice to see him on the podium.
It would be nice to see him on the podium as he comes in the pits, so looks like he may be struggling down in P8 as well, so not the best qualifying he's ever had, but like you say, Smithy, it's not the worst thing qualifying at the back for this track.
No, like I say, you never know what could happen.
No, as the Gary crosses the line,
D-Biggs will be very happy with that.
Yes, I can imagine he will be. As Matt actually overtook the Overtaker by only 900. No. Yeah, about 900ths of a second. There's Jamie
he's got to
Garrett.
give the place back with a grid penalty. He won't be happy with that.
No, he will not. But near the front of the grid,
yeah, 2 Mercs. You've got the 2 Mercs of Matt and Gary. I don't know where's Dan's teammate, Little Leach. Let me just scroll down. Hold on, I've just got to go page 1, page 2. Oh, there he is. Yep, 9.
Yep. As there is your qualifying now over.
Run us through the grid.
So, haha, this is the first time me doing this. So, we've got Unorthodox sitting on pole position. So now he has actually claimed his 25th. His 25th pole position. There we go. Sorry, it was just the change there. So he's gained his 25th pole position. So well done to him. As then it goes to D-Biggs in 2nd, Overtaker in 3rd, Gary in 4th, Matt in 5th, Holty in 6th, 7th is Smoky Devil, Sooty Apex in 8th, Little Leach in 9th, J&M Grill in 10th, Big Boy Brazier in 11th without actually setting a time. We've got Richie 95 in 12th, Peaceful Explosion in 13th, and Fury in 14th. So that is your grid and that is your lineup for race 1, as everyone will be doing all the setups, making sure everything's right just before they go, as this is a 19-lap race, so it's going to be interesting.
Who's your prediction?
Who's my prediction? I'm going to have to go with Dan. He seems like the quickest car on the grid by quite a large margin to D-Biggs. He's just got to try and make sure he stays out of any incidents on lap 1. He needs to just try and make a gap. But I think there's plenty of other cars on there that's got the ability to be able to give Dan a good race.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go Dan as well. Dan tonight.
Yeah, as
I think Overtaker will get the best start, being on a pad.
Oh,
But then he's got Gary beside him and Matt behind him. He's gonna feel like a rose between two thorns.
as we are now just obviously waiting for the drivers to ready up, and we'll get the five lights up. So we'll get the countdown soon, as just gotta wait for this. As there we go, we're syncing up. As there's 1, 2, 3, 4 and go. As here are all the drivers going now. As Dan doesn't exactly get the greatest start, as going up into the first little kink of turn 1. We've actually got pretty much 3 wide. It's Dan on the late braking. There's a car that absolutely launches to the side there. That's one of the Ferraris in the background who's just spun. I believe that was Peaceful. No, it was Sooty from the looks of it as well. As it looks like Dan has actually pulled that gap that he's wanting. There's another car that looks like it's kind of had a spin. Here's Gary. He's got the Overtaker right behind him, who's going to be really wanting to push for those positions now. As Gary, all he needs to do is be able to park it on the curbs and just keep it where it is.
Yeah, Gary's got to keep it stable. He's been struggling a couple of weeks, keep the car on track, and he has got the Overtaker behind him.
Yeah, as he looks like he's giving the Overtaker quite a hard time, as here is Holty. And they're going to go 2 abreast going into here, and there was contact from what I've seen. Yeah, that is. Bet that's gutting. Started in second, and that must be absolutely heartbreaking for him. Here's JM Grill, and I believe that is actually Peaceful this time.
Smokey and JM Grill.
Oh, Smoke it.
Yep.
There we go. That one. Still learning. Don't worry about it. He's overtaken now in 3rd position, as Matt will be hunting him down like a hawk.
We just mentioned pit window is lap 4 and closes end of lap 11.
Should also say that, yes. So there you go, guys.
Little leech up to 7th place. So if you got the constructors here at the moment, we've got Dan winning a race, obviously.
Oh,
his teammate.
That looked like Holty, I believe.
Holty or Sutty? Sutty. That was Sutty round. Holty's up in the 5th still.
There's some flashes there.
Yeah. Gary's lost out to the Overtaker. Has he?
It looks like he's fighting it back though. It looks like he's also left the door open.
Forms, yeah.
Yeah.
Smokey's in the pits. Pitting early, he must have damage. Let me just note that one down.
It looks like there's actually about to be a three-way battle here, as Mahemovic just coming up behind here, as they are literally clumped together here, as Matt has actually done the overtake on the Overtaker, as he is now behind his teammate of Gary 131, and we're going to see actually Matt slows down quite considerably there, slowing the Overtaker down maybe, as the Overtaker really eager to be able to get that position back off of Mahemovic, as Matt will be wanting to get past Gary as well, but he needs to be able to obviously get into that range, as the Overtaker's now got his slipstream and is actually potentially be able to go past. No, as the Overtaker actually doesn't decide to do that.
Oh, Gary's taken a bit of the track limits there. Now, are these two doing a bit of team tactics here? A bit of swippy-swappy?
Maybe a bit of a swippy-swappy, or maybe a little bit of a wall there, as it was actually side by side coming down the hill there.
Undertaker's just got to be patient. Obviously, he's going to end up either caught up between the two. But while these three are racing themselves, Dan's got a 4-second gap up in front.
It's now actually got a 5-second gap, so it could be Dan for this race when we may have got our predictions right, but there's plenty left of this race, 16 laps left in fact, So there's plenty of things, plenty of stuff that can happen in those 16 laps.
Holty is going strong in 6th place in the Merc with Little Leach behind him. Richie in 8th.
They're actually side by side. There's a bit of contact there from what it seems.
Yeah, that was Overtaker getting pushed out, was it not?
I actually saw some form of contact between Holty and Little Leach from what it looked like. As Jamie's not actually disconnected, so new world record. He's been able to actually stay in the session longer than 5 seconds. As the Overtaker's still behind Matahimovic, and he still looks very impatient to be able to get that position back. As there he is on the gravel, slowing him down.
He's just got to sit there and bide his time.
He does. As there's Peaceful Explosion, who's actually made 2 positions back since a race, since his little spin, I believe it was. As he has got Fury right behind him at the moment. He will be very eager to get that position back. Oh, that slipstream was immense. As it looks like there's actually damage to the front of Peaceful's car as well. It's Peaceful back down into 13th, but there's someone off back there going there. I believe that was Smokey.
Yep, Smokey, that was Smokey.
Here we are,
this is where the battle is at the moment. 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th with Richie just at the back of it, and
at the front of it, it's quite. It looks like it seems to be a battle between teammates at the moment.
Yeah, Dan's just gone. Dan's 7 seconds up the road.
He's got some pace, that boy has. There's the Overtaker actually trying to go for a move on Matahimovic. He's going to go up the inside and actually gets it done. It's Matahimovic. No, there you go. The Overtaker's done it. As Gary goes into the pits this lap.
Yeah, Gary's the first one in.
That may have actually been quite a good call to be able to try and get the overtake. Yes. No. Yes.
So Gary's the first man in the pits.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wide. That's
could do a world of good.
Great little race up here. I'll tell you what, the constructor's going to be close after this race. You got Matt and Gary, Dan and Little Leach, and we've got who else? We got? And Peaceful's in.
Oh, so maybe Peaceful going to pit and repair any damage he's got, or maybe even just get the overtake on D Biggs in the pits.
Now is Overtaker now going to pull away from Matt?
That is what we're going to see. We're also going to see if when the Overtaker goes in, if he's left it too long and stayed out and then ended up behind Gary 131.
Gary's out. Gary's been out ages. Gary's well out the back of the grid. It's about, well, you can be in and out if these boys use the old glitch.
Yes, so I've actually used that myself a couple of times.
You must be looking at what? It's one of the quicker pit stops here, I think. It's
one of the 2 seconds, 1-2 seconds that you're actually in the pits.
Yeah, you're looking about a 20-second stop.
Yeah.
This is a great battle of these four.
Yeah, as not a track we came to very often, but it's definitely paying off quite a lot for this track, for this season. We're going to actually see what it is as we start the season. We started this on quite a high for this race, actually.
Now Richie's gaining on Little Leach. When's he going to make a move?
That is the real question right now.
Holt is right up big boys as well. Holty seems to be getting better each week. He's really coming into this now, especially in that Merc.
Yeah, as he actually came up from the Pro-Am, so he's definitely made that step. He's came into the Pro and he's just trying to show what his worth is, like he did in the Pro-Am.
He's making a move. He's making a move.
He doesn't actually manage to get it stuck, but Little Leach, Jamie Brazier, should I say there, actually going off track and actually losing that position. Is going to be side by side coming into the hairpin, as no they're not. Jamie's just led him by. As Holty, as that's Smoky Devil as well. Yeah. As these two side by side again. coming into the little chicane from what it looks like. As there's a
Oh,
bit of contact between those two as well. Is oh,
Big
is it
boy's
both
gone up.
right off there? Did you just see a car just zoom
That's
by
lag,
there
that
as
was
they're back
lag.
on?
I think that was Big Boy Brazier. That was lag because he's now lost out to Little Leech and Holty. I don't know what
Maybe it
happened there. I
is.
think
It might be
we had a bit of
something to
lag.
maybe have a
Holty's
look
in the
at the end of this race. At the
Holty's
end
in
of
the
this
pits.
week, night, should I say, by the stewards. There's
Richie's in the
Matahimovic.
pits.
Yeah, as there's Richie, and that is Holty as well in the pits.
Big boys
Jamie
joining.
Brazier as well in the pits. Sorry to take your shine away there, Smithy, mate.
Yeah, all right. Get it noted. Get it noted. You have to keep up with everybody that's pitted.
Do.
That's nice. So we've got Fury on track. Sutty still on track. Now Gary should jump all the boys that have been in the pits.
Should do on paper. Hopefully, for him, he will be hoping he does.
Now Dan's nearly 8 seconds up the road from Overtaker, who's managed to pull just under 2 seconds on Matt. Is Matt going to jump him in the pits? We know Matt can have a quick pit stop.
Maybe
When are
so.
they going to pit? Is there? I don't know if it's rain due this race. Is it rain second race? They've only got four more laps until the pit window shuts, and we've only had 6 drivers in out of 14, so we've still got 8 to pit.
I believe it is actually race 2 that there's meant to be some form of wet weather forecasted for. We will see though, as is Richie just going straight around that being Gary 131, I believe. So
That's for place as well, because Richie's pitted. That's the place.
so
That's
maybe
the
Gary's
position,
struggling after his pit stop then.
Yeah, that's the
He's in his
position.
slipstream now, as
Little
I thought
Leech
was
is
going to
in.
pull in. As yeah, there's Little Leech. The question is, when will Matt, Dan, and Overtaker decide to go for a pit stop? As Dan most likely should be all right, but there's plenty of time for accidents to happen. As I believe he might be in the I thought he was in the pits now, but no. Here's James Grill as well, just coming up the start straight. James Grill being in 6th at the moment. Here's Richie and Gary. Gary's got the slipstream. Is Gary going to try and... Nah, there's too much of a gap there for him to even try and think about making a move on him there. Gary just needs to be consistent here and just try and push Richie into a mistake. I believe Richie actually being one of the pad drivers, if I'm correct.
I couldn't tell you that one. I know Little Leech has come out in the pits in front of Richie, and them two were behind each other before they both pitted.
It's a Leech sandwich right now.
A little Leech sandwich.
Little Leech sandwich. Bit of a tongue twister. It looks like Richie actually having a problem there, as there was contact as well as wow.
Oh.
That is not what you want to see. I don't believe there would be that much any major damage from that, but Richie has now lost out to Big Boy, I believe that is, so not be very happy about that. That will be something that may be discussed in the steward's room at the end of this night. There's James Grill again going around turn 1. There's Fury actually on the back of Peaceful. Is it going to be side by side? No. Oh no, that's Smokey, should I say, sorry. There's maybe a back mark of that. I believe. Smokey not having the race that he's wanting tonight. And there's been quite a lot of action on the track, hasn't there, Smithy, mate?
Oh, somebody. Who's that? Big Boy Brazier was cutting corners there a bit. Him and Gary, is it?
That is Gary there, yeah.
That was track limits quite a bit.
Yeah, there were quite a lot of track limits there, and Gary getting quite loose going through there as well, trying to avoid Jamie. And Rich has just been able to gain both positions, just going through there. As Gary is going to be crossing his fingers, hoping that Jamie doesn't lag.
Dan is in. Dan is in. How quick is this going to be? Dan is in.
Right, so we're going to see how long this is going to be. Is it going to be a quick one? As he is already out, so that was quite a quick pit stop from Unorthodox there. There goes the Overtaker and Matahimovic as well. So these two will be having to come into the pits will need to be in the pits quite soon, as the pit window obviously being...
End the next lap. Yep, end the next lap, pit window shuts.
So not very long for them to be able to do their pit stop.
We've had 8 in. We've still got another 6 to go. So 6 boys have got to pit the end of the next lap. Which is Overtaker, Matt, Sutty, Fury, James Grill, and Holty. No, Holty's been in.
So not very long for all of these people to be able to go into the pits. Hopefully they haven't forgot what the pit window is though. There's Big Boy Brazu, who's going to be quite eager to be able to get his that position back, as he'll want that really bad. He needs to be able to pull points away from Gary, as of the minute, I believe Gary's actually still... in fact, he will still be behind Jamie, should I say, unless Jamie actually leaves the race because of internet. He's just going to be pulling a few more points away from Gary, which is what he'll be wanting to be able to try and solidify his place in 4th in the championship for the end of the season.
Matt's in the pits, so Overtaker has to pit at the end of this lap. Matt is in.
So let's see how long this pit stop's going to be.
Still a few.
He's already out, and that was a really quick pit stop. Wow. We're going to see how long this pit stop is.
Dan's jumped that though, so, which we knew would. Fury's also in.
There's actually 15 seconds between Dan and the Overtaker. Was James Grill in as well. So all the people that hasn't pitted already will be pitting now. Fury just absolutely plummeting down the grid there. As well as Sutty and JM. But it looks like Sutty's actually out as well, so not a bad pit stop from Sutty and the pit crew for him. As the Overtaker should be in the pits this lap. As we should check where the Overtaker is on the track at the moment.
He's the dot that's on his own.
Dots.
That's 15 seconds away from everybody else.
That is a valid point, but let's have a look and see if he actually goes in the pits this lap. As he does go in.
He isn't gonna jump down, not with 13 seconds.
How long is his pit stop going to be though? As there is a battle here. As is Dan, and here's the Overtaker. Overtaker not even in his pit box now, as Dan will almost definitely get him. But will he lose the position to Matahimovic? That's a really quick pit stop from him. Is Matt may only just miss the Overtaker.
Matt's going to get him as well, I think.
Matahimovic actually going to come out just... No. The Overtaker's done Matahimovic. Yeah. So it may have been a quick pit stop for Matahimovic in the pits, and the pit crew would have been really happy with that. Matt, not so much.
I'd take this will do Love Island Bombshells a world of good. You've got Dan in 1st and Little Leach in 5th. Gary's dropped right down in 11th. Teammate of the Jaeger Motorsport. Smokey's also in the pit, so he has pitted twice.
That was quite an interesting line from Holty as well. As another thing to be able to just have a bit of a sneak peek at. This is a three-way battle here. We're going to see what happens. It's between Jamie, Jamie, Richie, and Little Leach. So they're going to be side by side. Is Jamie going to try and make it 3 wide? No, he's not, but There you go, Little Leech. So side by side all the way through there, and they're going to be side by side coming down as Jamie looks like he might even try and make it 3 wide if he can. As he doesn't, but they are still quite bunched up there, so here
Little
we
Leach
go.
has just slipped in between the two. Looks like he could lose out to the pair of them, which would be a bit of a
Maybe
shame.
he's got the slipstream. He might actually go for the move here. No, he doesn't. But Jamie right behind Little Leech right now, as these two have actually gapped each other, as Jamie looking for the inside line and Little Leech pretty much just giving it him there.
Wide.
As
Yeah,
no,
wide.
Little Leech still in front of Jamie Brazier as well. Is it going to be side by side coming through here? Is these two absolutely going for it in equal cars? Maybe different setups, but they're in the same car and the same potential out of both cars. It's Little Leech in the run there.
We said it would be an Audi track, but we've got 3rd, 4th and 5th, all Mercedes.
As maybe being a Mercedes dominant track, as there isn't actually...
Oh, big boy Brazier with
wow.
big track limits again.
Jamie may be struggling tonight from what it looks like. Maybe a bit shook up from the internet, and let's try and take it easier. Not what he wants to be doing now. These two proper going for a proper hard battle at the moment. He's not quite there, just as I say it.
Dan's got a 9.
There they are. They're pretty much rubbing at this point. Jamie just slipping through that little gap there, but doesn't actually manage to get that position. As it looks like Little Leech's car is actually just an absolute monster in a straight, whereas Jamie's just seems to lack that straight line speed. As Jamie taking some very interesting lines at the moment. We're now also on lap 14 out of the 19 laps of this race. Only 5 laps remaining of race 1.
The two Ferrari teammates of Peaceful and Sutty. They had a brilliant race last week, the pair of them.
They did, and it's not going their way this today.
No, surprising. I thought the Ferrari would be a bit quicker around here.
You would have thought this seems like quite a downforcey track as this, Sutty. Wow. He is really looking. There's Peaceful as well, who's just gone.
Yeah, we spoke a bit too soon, I think.
Commentator's curse.
Right down to 11th. These two are still going at it, Little Leech and Big Boy Brazier, for 6th and 7th.
From what it seems like, this could be a race that will last till the very last lap.
Overtaker's just got 3 seconds on Matt, but I mean Dan is just out there practicing basically. Out there practicing.
Just taking dog for a walk. Just
make up for last week, I suppose. He didn't have the best of weeks last week, so he'll be happy with this tonight. Pole position and a race win if he can keep.
If he can keep this up, if he wins in race 2, he will actually be able to take his 50th win of the season. If he manages to win this race, it'll be his 49th.
Oh, Little Leech is up to 5th. What happened to Richie? Richie's dropped down to 7th.
Wow.
Big Boy and Little Leech have jumped Richie. Richie must have had a moment. Little Leech he's literally getting pushed along by Big Boy Brazier.
Might as well put some...
Defend.
Yeah. Might as well wrap some rope around the bumper of the cars. Because they're literally that stuck together. Just trailing him. Jamie looks like he's not taking no as an answer. And he's saying he'd pretty much be... I want that position. As there he goes. Little Leech compromising the outside. Going too far out on the racing line. And loses that position to Jamie. But I can imagine he's going to really fight for him for that position back. And then just go proper defensive. It's been quite an interesting race, hasn't it, Smith?
These three have made it interesting. The one up front's just gone. He is gone. We had a little battle for second and third earlier, but these three, fifth, sixth, and seventh, most of the race.
Yes, it has been.
We can't take anything from Holt. He's up there in fourth place. He's got a 10-second gap from fifth with Big Boy Brazier, but then he's got a 10-second gap to Matt in third. So he's having a little race to himself as well. But that's a brilliant finish in fourth if he manages to finish in fourth. Quiet race, but steady race.
Yes, that will be quite good for him, and I can imagine he'll be quite happy with that. Still
Big's gone from second on the grid to 11th. He's not going to be happy. No, he's not going to be happy with that.
No, we won't be happy with that.
Gary down in 12th. I wouldn't have thought Gary would be happy with 12th.
No, because that's going to lose points for the...
Oh, we've got a battle on here. Little Leach is dropping right back now. What's going on?
Wow.
Sutty's now overtook Little Leach. The Ferraris have just come out of nowhere. Fury's on the back of Richie.
So it's basically a two-way battle between four different drivers.
Big Boy Brazier
who's best of the rest of this pack is, though.
Yeah, Big Boy's managed to pull himself away from this bundle.
Yeah, as
Little Leach could end up losing out to 3 places here and drop right down in the 10th.
Wow. This, yeah, it's been quite an interesting race. A lot of action, and it still is right now, as I thought that was a bit of a flashy there, but no, it was, yeah, it was just the cars moving there. 3 red cars and 1 black car as well, so not much of a colour contrast, but nonetheless, there's a massive battle happening here, as Little Leach will be looking for that position as well as Fury will be, but Sutty in front of the 3 of them. Richie looks like he's just cruising behind us. Is this Little Leach going for a position? No, he's not. Sutty manages to defend his line there and manages to keep him behind him. There he is. Little Leach getting closer and closer to the rear bumper of Sutty Apex's car. As he goes for that inside line there, but doesn't get it done.
Yeah, Sutty's a hard person to get past. He's got to be one of the hardest drivers to overtake. And probably one of the most dangerous, to be fair.
Yeah, it says Richie Rich in the background. Richie Rich? I don't know where I got that from. Oh, is this?
Richie Rich is catching on. Fury and Richie Rich. Oh, Fury's had a bit of a... Fury.
Oh, there goes Richie.
Was that lap 17? Don't know if he had a little nudge there.
You need to be careful there, because that's Gary. Maybe a bit of an unsafe rejoin there as well. Now it's just these 3. The 3 red cars. And all 3 cars actually being different cars as well. Got a Ferrari, an Audi, and a Mercedes, all battling for that final classification position.
Gary's cut back up to Richie, the 2 Mercs.
Gary's going to be pushing really hard for that position, as he's going to want to get as many points as possible. There's Little Leach in the tail of Sutty, but Sutty just doing an absolute job and a half, just defending off of these 2. He's only got 2. He's only got 1 more lap. Yeah, he's got 1 more lap after this, I believe. No, 2 more laps. Sorry, he's got 2 more laps after this lap to just defend from these.
Overtakes on lap 18 of 19. These boys are a good 41 seconds, nearly half a lap behind the leader. Oh, Little Leach has gone off. Where's he going? Oh, that's cost him.
That's cost him those 2 positions.
He's got Peaceful close by as well, so he could end up losing another one. Like I said, he could end up dropping down to 10th with 2 laps to go. Gone from 7th or 5th to 10th.
Wow.
Big Boy Brazier is now racing himself as well as what Holty is.
Big Boy Brazier in 5th as well.
Fury and Sutty.
Or is it going to be side by side coming into the right? Is it the right? Left-hander, should I say? Is now all over, but he's looking on the inside, the outside line there. Is that D Biggs who's just gone into pits as well?
Yeah, D Biggs has obviously got damage. Like I said, he struggled last week a bit, and he's struggling this week. After second on the grid, he's not going to be happy with that.
No, we won't. Is this Fury?
Fury's gone round. I don't know if that was his own doing.
I believe it was. It just looked like he might have just gave the car a bit too much wheel spin and just ended up spinning round.
On his penultimate lap, is Dan.
Dan is on his final lap.
Yep, penultimate lap.
Oh, is it a penultimate? Right, okay. Right, I'm learning.
I don't actually know. I just picked that word up and just come out of my mouth. I ain't got a clue what it stands for. It sounded good though, didn't it?
Is there? That's one way to look at it, Smith, mate.
It sounded good.
It sounded good, so it's good. Right, not bothered anymore. I'm just gonna.
Can't spell it. That'll give me a good points in that old game where you put them Scrabble, is it? I'd have got good points for that.
Oh yes. All I know is the P in there, so that's as much as I know. There's Dan. He's going to be going through his final few corners. Yeah, going through the chicane here and then down to his actual final few corners. This battle is still going between the three cars.
Yeah, you got the two Ferraris now.
Yeah, we've now got two Ferraris. So a Ferrari sandwich instead of a Leech sandwich.
Well, here he comes. Round this last corner.
Here we go. Now around the I believe this is the penultimate corner, and then this is the final. I believe penultimate is the lap before the final. But that is your race winner. An Orthodox 16 is your race winner. Now on 49 wins. One more win and he can get his 50th. As here's the overtaker coming into P2 for this race. So quite a happy man there. As here's Matt Himovic as well in P3. So quite a good night for him. As here's Holty as well.
That's a great
coming around in fourth. That's quite amazing for Holty, and I can imagine he'll be quite happy with that. Only that single position off of the podium. As here's Jamie Brazier coming home in fifth. Is this battle still going on?
Yeah, still going on to the last corner.
As it might just be Sutty. As there's a bit of contact there.
Yeah, little Leech.
That's peaceful round. Wow.
So you got Sutty in 6th.
Sutty in 6th, and Little Leech in 7th. Here's Rich. He comes home in P8. As Peaceful's actually lost that. Now in P9, so he's lost that position. Gary in P10. Here's Fury in P11. So Peaceful not going to be very happy with that. Here's JM Grill. And there you go. That is your race. As
Fastio
Lapio is, I believe it's going to be Dan. Maybe Yep,
Dan.
Yeah, it's Dan. Yeah, so not a bad lap from him.
Clean sheet from Dan in race 1.
Yeah, it was, as he's going to have really enjoyed that, and he's going to be quite happy with himself there. But we're going to take a quick break here, so we will be back with qualifying 2 shortly.
Get the guys in the box. Get them in for a chat.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the
On a 109 point difference between unorthodox and orthodox, being able to pull those points back, as then it obviously goes unorthodox, Matt, Big Boy Brazier, Peaceful, Gary, Richie, Little Leech, Empalava, Holte, Sutti, then D-Biggs, James Grill, Fury, and then Smoky Devil. Your constructors are looking like Love Island Bombshells now have an 18-point gap lead between Jaeger Motorsport in second. Then you've got Over McDisco Face Racing in third, Ginstazara Proper Cornish Pasty in fourth, Simplay Racing in fifth, Speedy Frogs in sixth, Smoky Hot Racing in seventh, and Teletubby Motorsport in eighth. As we have got the top three in the comms box here, and we're going to start with Matahimovic. And how did you feel in your race?
Slidey, I think is the best way to describe that one. Very slippy and slidey.
As you obviously started with a grid penalty, and was that through speeding into the pit lanes, or?
Yeah, just like an absolute idiot. I forgot to press my pit limiter on the way out, so just went a little over. Not enough to get me a second grid penalty, but yeah.
And how do you reckon your second race will go?
We'll see. It's a bit slippy. Track temperature's a little warmer now. Cloud cover a bit more, so it might make the track a bit slippier. We'll see what happens. We'll get our best shot. We're at the back of the grid, so we'll see what happens from there.
Well done on your position, Matthew.
Cheers, and well done to Dan and Overtaker as well.
Yeah, as we now go over to Overtaker now in second. And how do you feel that your race went?
Yeah, I'm super pleased with my result. I think if I said to myself before the race, if I got on the podium, I would be over the moon. So I'm super happy with P2.
Yeah, as you actually look like you had a kind of good start on the start of the race. Do you reckon you had a good start, or?
Well, I think I had average start, but I was super cautious in turn 1 because I didn't want to make contact. Then the Biggs managed to make contact with me, but I managed to get 0 damage, so I was super lucky on that count. But then later in the race, just as Matt said, it was slidey. I couldn't get my tires to grip, so then it was uncatchable for me, so it was holding P2.
And how do you reckon your second race will go?
I don't know, I did some tweaking on the brake with my setup, so I hope I will get more grip this time around.
And well done on your position there then, Overtaker. As now we'll go to the race leader, the race winner should I say, Unorthodox. Absolutely dominated in that race.
Yeah, it was definitely what I needed. Got the start that I needed and just went off into the distance. Gary kind of helped me out massively by splitting myself and Overtaker. But other than that, yeah, it was, I didn't see anyone but those boys at the start, so couldn't ask for anything better.
How would you say your car actually felt during that race?
Everyone else seems to be struggling with sliding. Mine seemed to be alright, but obviously this seems to be an Audi suited circuit. Max dominated quite well last night, and tonight as well. I've just managed to nail race 1. We'll see what race 2 goes like, but yeah, it's it felt alright. It felt okay. Just making a few little tweaks just for the final changes for this last race.
And I believe you actually went out onto it, but how do you reckon your race 2 will actually go?
Well, actually, the plan is to just keep my nose clean, stay out of a bit of trouble, see where we are towards lap 4 and see what we decide to do pits-wise. But other than that, it's just, we know we have the pace in this car, we know we can win a race. It's just trying to work our way through the pack and try and gain as many points as we possibly can, extend that gap to Matt, and make sure that constructors-wise, me and Little H stay ahead of the Jaeger boys, because that is the main goal now, because Overtaker is just not touchable now.
Yeah, well done on your position then, Dan.
Cheers, well done to Matt and Overtaker, and also cheers, Liam, for stepping in tonight.
As there is those 3 there, as they seem quite happy there, Smithy.
Yeah, they all seem happy with their results. I don't blame them either. Like I said, it must be nice to finish on a podium every now and then.
Yeah, I can imagine it does, in the fashion that especially an Orthodox won that race. I can imagine he is absolutely buzzing, as like he says in the interviews there, that he's going to try and keep his nose clean for race 2, and we're going to see how that goes, as he could be the record breaker in this next race with his 50th win, if he can manage to do that.
We could see a new race winner as well. Looking at who's on pole at the moment, we've got Fury on pole, with Gary second, Peaceful third. D Biggs, who was second on the grid last race, is now up to 4th. JM Grill in 5th. And 2 people yet to set a time, which is Richie, and Smokey.
Yeah, so 3 minutes remaining. Anyone who's actually in the pits needs to
we haven't seen Fury up in pole for quite a while. Well, everyone that's in the pits can't actually qualify. It's just everyone that's out on track.
Yeah, that's right, because only the top 7 can't qualify for this race. So it's going to definitely be interesting.
I don't know if Fury's had a little tweak, but he looks like he's quick 1:34.9.
Yes, he does, as obviously I don't know where Richie is, as here he is actually. He's only coming around turn 1. As Smokey as well, I think, is actually quite near the first sector of the circuit. Yes, he is. He's not actually that far. Is he actually in front? Does he actually look like he had a bit of a mistake there? Something he doesn't really want to be doing at the moment. So again, there he goes.
Overtaker's going to be starting in the middle of the pack.
That could be quite interesting.
So that could help him a little, especially if he said he's had a little bit of a play at the brake with the car.
Yeah, as Dan also starts at the back, as then goes out, so it could be quite a battle between those 2 turns. See if he can get the grid as quickly as possible. As he Biggs in pits now, 6/10 off of Fury at the moment, who's on provisional pole. This will be also determined by Dan also where everyone else will qualify. But as of the minute, he's on the pole. As here comes Richie. What's he going to do? He's going to go in P4. So not a bad time done by Richie there. That actually demotes D Biggs
Gary's
and
coming back out. Gary's going to try for another lap.
So Gary might be trying for another lap. He's only a
the last of the qualifiers is gone in 7th. He's not having the best of nights tonight, Smokey.
No, he's not, but hopefully he can make himself back up in race 2. Not the greatest qualifying, but as long as he keeps it on the track and stays out of incidents, he could go for a good result. With only a minute and a half, a minute 20 left in the session. So
James Grill's done.
Yeah, so there's your first one to finish in the qualifying. as everyone else will be coming around the circuit now to do their either start the final laps or to finish them. I believe who's the next one to cross the line is D Biggs who's going to cross the line. It was quite an interesting line there, but nonetheless we're going to see what he can do on a flying lap. As here he comes up the start straight, as I believe that was...
He hasn't improved, D-Biggs.
No. As here comes Richie, going on to his... Oh, as he goes for a little bit of a spin there.
All that.
Luckily keeps it at the wall, but he's going to go for another lap. He's actually 5 tenths down on that lap. As here's Peaceful Explosion. We might just be able to scratch another lap out. No, he's not.
He's not far off jumping Gary. Peaceful's coming round. He's on a lap.
He's actually quicker by 10th.
Yep. Richie's done. He's in the pits.
So that's Richie done. As here's Peaceful. He's going to be the first one to cross the line at the end of qualifying. Yeah. First one to cross the line is, I think... We're going to see if he can go any quicker. As no, he's not. He's spun it and he's retired back to the pits there. Returned to the pits, should I say. Here's Gary. And here's D Biggs. We're going to see what D Biggs can do. As he is also he's the next one to cross the line at the end of qualifying. Currently in P5. We'll see if he can improve on that. There he comes around the penultimate corner now with the final corner. Comes down the start straight. Crosses the line. And goes into third.
Jump Peaceful. He's jumped Peaceful.
Is Gary... No, that is Fury. Comes over the line. Doesn't go any quicker. As I believe the next one is not Gary. Who's the... Smoky Devil is the next one. But he looks like he's... There he is. He goes in pits. So the last person to cross the line is Gary 131. We're going to have a look and see where if he can improve and be able to overtake Fury. As that was quite a line there by Gary. As he crosses in pole position there. So what a lap from Gary. And he's actually a 10th quicker than what Fury was. So Gary, pole sitter for this race. As here is your... little qualification, as you're going to call it. So it goes Gary, Fury, D Biggs, Peaceful. Then we've got Richie, Jane Grill. Then we've got Smoky Devil. As here we go. Then we've got Sooty, Apex, down to Overtaker. Then we go to Little Leech. Then Big Boy Brazier. Then we've got Holty, Matahimovic, and then Unorthodox. So these guys at the back, obviously they will be part of the 7 that couldn't qualify. I think that cut-off point was where Sooty Apex is right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be sitting where Overtaker is next to Sooty. Not at the start of a race.
No.
He's a hard man to get past.
Could be a bit of car rubbing, or maybe some doors flying off, like they did at Monza the other month.
We're gonna have a new race winner this race. Who's your money on?
Oh, my money. Sorry about that. My money is. I can't not say Dan. I think Dan, as long as he stays out all of the trouble, he's got quite a chance. He was quite quick in race 1. We're going to see what he can do in race 2.
So you're going down from the back of the grid?
Yes.
Okay. So I like your optimism. I like it a lot.
Got to be quite optimistic. Who would you say your money is on?
I reckon Fury's going to win this from the start. And here we go.
Yeah, here we go. And as I say in the race before, we're syncing up. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light. And we go. It's Fury actually getting quite a decent start there. Quite on par with Gary. There are quite a lot of battles already happening. As it looks like they're going to go 4 wide. There's a bit of an incident in the background.
Big Boy Brazier's collected.
And there goes Fury. There's a massive pile up into turn 1.
Peaceful, everybody.
Wow! Here's Fiore coming back onto the circuit right now. Is really fallen behind, and Gary's leading.
Look at Dan up to 5th, Matt up to 4th.
Here we go.
And an overtake up to 6th. The big boys are up there already. They haven't took long at all. Little Leach up in the 3rd. Go on, boy.
As I said in the
somebody else said.
Oh,
somebody else had an incident.
There's James Grill right there, and battle between Matt and Little Leach at the moment. So fighting for those constructor points.
Yeah, Love Island Bombshells and SAeaosn Motorsports.
It's all about those constructor points at the moment.
And then you got Dan holding off the Undertaker. Like I said, he's made some tweaks. The Undertaker, he's gonna.
Yeah, it's the Overtaker actually quite wide there and taking track limits quite bad. So could be something to be noted down by the stewards. But after lap 1, there was quite a lot of action there. Quite a lot happened.
That was an exciting stock car start. That was.
It was very much so.
He lost out in that. Holty, unfortunately, he's got big damage. Peaceful's obviously got damage. He's dropped to the back.
Holty's actually stayed out.
Little Leach up in the 3rd.
There we go. So Little Leach in 3rd. So as of the minute, we've got Gary, Richie, and we've got Little Leach's. Richie not having the greatest race 1, but race 2 looks a lot more in his favour. There is a 4-way car battle here, as that looks like it looks like Little Leach, Matt, Dan, and the Overtaker. Dan keeping the Overtaker behind him while Matt Himovic is trying to gain on Little Leach.
Yeah, Dan's managing to keep the Overtaker off at the minute.
But the Overtaker actually looking quite what's the word for it?
Feisty.
Feisty being one of them, yes. Impatient is the word I'm thinking of. Looking quite impatient, trying to go for trying to make a move as quickly as possible. Dan actually made a bit of a gap, but the Overtaker actually staying within time. As there's Matt Himovic and Little Leach side by side, staying side by side. A bit of a tap. Now they're going to go 3 wide. As it's now Dan. Dan is now in front of Matt Himovic, and the Overtaker just there trying to get capitalise on that position as well. It's just a massive clump of cars in one little area. The Overtaker really pushing for it. Matt Himovic will be trying to keep the Overtaker behind him, but Dan will be trying to make some of those positions up and try and catch up to Gary to try and get his 50th win.
3 second. Dan's got the better of Matt by the look of it, going into the corner. Oh, Dan has got this track finely tuned in at Audi.
Yeah, as they are side by side pretty much coming down the hill. As Matt Himovic could be having a chance to get in that position back. As Overtaker's trying to get in the mix.
He ain't shy
Is Matt still side by side? And sorry, what was that, Little Leach?
Little Leach is racing.
Not Little Leach, Smithy, sorry.
Overtaker ain't shy of trying to get in a little gap.
As there was a bit of door rubbing there from what it looked like. There's Matt Himovic on the inside line here, so he has got the better line. Has Matt Himovic done it? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. It's still side by side, and Overtaker looking like he's going to try and make it 3 wide. No, but Overtaker going on the grass there. Trying to stay behind both of them.
I think this could end in a bad way, possibly. Hopefully not.
It could end in tears, this. But for us, it's very entertaining as there was a bit more car rubbing there. There's Dan!
Hands round.
As there could have been that could be something to be reviewed. It could have been that Matt laned on Orthodubs and made him spin, but Orthodubs is going to have to do a job and a half to be able to catch up. As here's Matt Himovic in 3rd position at the moment. I don't know. Overtaker's also had a moment. He's in 7th.
He's right back. Don't know what happened to him.
So the Overtaker not having the race he wants, and Unorthodox will not be happy with what's just happened there. Here's Little Leech. And here's the
Overtaker
Overtaker and
myself,
Dan.
Dan.
So these two
Right
fighting still. Here's Matahimovic coming up to where Richie is.
Oh, I said Fury for the win. I'm not saying that ever again.
As
Poor
here he
boy.
is. He's in the gravel again.
Right at the back.
Here's D Biggs having a not a very great race too. But I can imagine a few of these guys will have had some damage from that lap 1 incident on turn 1. But
Big boy Brazier's now got past the Overtaker as well.
yeah, so the Overtaker's struggling. Maybe even Dan's struggling as well, because it looks like Dan is not as quick as what he was in race 1.
Well, Gary 131 with a 4-second advantage. We don't see this very often this season. Gary out in front. Well, we do, but not for this long.
It's nice though. I can imagine the Jaeger Motorsport boys are going to be absolutely thrilled at the moment, being in a 1-3 at the moment. They're going to want to try and keep it there, with Matahimovic also behind Rich.
The pit window is open and Dan is the first one in. Dan and D Biggs.
So former teammates being the 2 to go into the pits first, and Holty also in the pits. 3 people already in the pits. So we're going to see as...
Dan's strategy is obviously pit early and then get the laps, banging in the laps like he was last race. Could it pay off for Dan?
He's going to try and get the undercut. And we're going to see how that plays out for him. But here's these two, second and third. Matahimovic actually catching up on Richie at the moment.
Dan's out the pits, that was quick.
So Dan having quite a quick pit stop, that's going to be quite beneficial for him. He's going to really want that, and he's going to be really happy with that, and he's going to try and capitalise on that as well.
Now there's a gap pulling in from 3rd to 4th now. Matt's got 4 seconds up on Little Leech. This is where the gaps start to appear.
This is where the gaps start to appear, and if it's anything like what race 1 was like...
Oh, big
is Jamie lagging there?
Oh.
As there he is, he's in the grass. Maybe... Oh, wow.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't disconnect.
Wow.
He is all over the place.
That is...
He's gone. He's gone. He's disconnected.
Oh, as there he goes then. So, oh, no, he's not. He's still here.
Richie's in the pits.
So, maybe coming into the... get the undercut as well.
That's Matt up to second now. Got 1 and 2 for the Jaegers. Sutty's joined.
Not a very quick pit stop from the from Rich right there. Weren't bad, but not the greatest it could have been. So Matt is going to hope for a blinding pit stop now. The Sut is also in, like you say.
If we're expecting rain or not.
I believe we are.
If we're expecting rain, then they're pitting.
In
obviously
the wrong
pitting
time.
Twice. That's if we're expecting rain. It might have changed.
It could have changed. That is a very good time. Sorry, I'm reading. Just reading comments off the top of my head. Very good point. I meant. Here's JM Grill, not having the greatest home race at the moment, so we won't be too impressed with that.
And his teammates just behind Fury at the moment.
Yeah, there's
There isn't much else on track. We've got Peaceful Overtaker 6th and 7th until guys start to pit and.
Here's Overtaker up Dan in 7th now. Started originally.
7th. Dan's in 11th.
No, I said. No, I meant Overtaker. If I said Dan, I apologise for that. Overtaker in 7th, so he's going to be trying. I don't believe he's pitted yet either, so that's going to be.
He can afford not to push too hard. He can afford just for 1 week not to be on the podium.
He can. Oh, there he is. He's going in the pits now.
Yeah, he's got 3 weeks to wrap it up.
He has, and it brings a new aspect to it of what may happen. Here's Smoky Devil coming down the start straight. As Jamie seems to have sorted.
He is all over the place.
He's all over the place, as he's also missing a headlight as well from what it looks like. So maybe something to be discussed. Not really much to say about it, but
He's going to have that battle with Little Leach again that we saw last race. Little Leach is having a nice steady race again up in the third.
Yeah. Back in third, Matt Himovic in second as well, but he is still due to do his pit stop. And as of the minute, taking pit stops out of it, it's actually a 1-2 for the Jaeger boys.
Yeah, Jaeger Motorsport, if they can keep these positions, we'll be getting good points this race.
Yeah, there's Sutty as well. He's trying to catch up to the overtaker. These two also already have been in the pits, so these two actually fighting for position. Was that? No, I thought overtaker spun it then. Oh, is Gary's in the pits then?
How quick's he stopped?
Let's have a look at this. He comes into his box.
Little Leach is in the pits.
Quite a slow stop from the Jaeger boys. There's two people actually in the pits now. So we've got James Grill and Little Leach. As you say. Little Leach had quite a decent pit stop there. And James Grill going as well. Here's Jamie Brazier.
Smokey's now joined the pit crew.
Is everyone now coming in on lap 8? Here's Fiore fighting for position on what seems to be Richie. We're going to see how this goes. 2 Mercedes.
I remember Fury started on pole as well.
He did.
Commentator's curse.
Goes for 2 of us there. I said Dan, you said Fiore, and both of them have had the greatest race so far. As there's the Richie going off a bit there, as there's Dan as well. As I don't believe, no, Dan was the first one to pit, I believe, actually. So
yeah, Dan's pitted, but so is Gary, and Gary's come out third, and Dan is 6th.
As
Gary's 6 seconds ahead of Dan.
As Matt Himovic is also in the pit, so we're going to see how long his pit stop is. As these two are actually fighting at the moment.
Yeah, Matt and Jamie.
Matt's in the pits, and he's out. So quite a quick stop from Matt.
Jamie's jumped him, and no, Jamie jumped him.
No, Jamie's also in the pits, but quite a slow stop from Jamie. But his car looks quite damaged. None the least, as Gary is gonna. Oh no, these two are gonna be racing on race exit. As it looks like Matt is pretty much just let Gary past.
1 and 2.
As I think Matt is quite happy to stay where he is from what it looks like, but then there's now a freeway battle going to be appearing from what it looks like here. As here's the overtaker going off track a little bit.
Yeah. Big Boy Brazier's got ahead of Little Leach.
Oh, is this Little Leach?
Oh, Little Leach, what are you doing? Come on, Love Island bombshells.
That is, I can imagine that's quite heart bleeding there.
Big Boy Brazier's got overtaker done. Right, Dan's now up to Richie and Fury.
Yeah, it also seems like Fury's actually done Richie as well. As Richie looks like he goes for the inside move, and he gets it done. What a move by Richie there.
Overtaker's done Big Boy as well.
Oh. So, this is kind of the time where Jamie's going to be wanting that lag to come in to try and put the overtaker off. But, yeah, there's now a freeway battle happening here. Here's Dan trying to catch up with Fiore and Richie right now. He's actually in 5th on Orthodubs is at the minute. I believe everybody in front of him has pitted as well already.
Now, if you're Gary and Matt's obviously fighting for I suppose he's fighting for the title, but we know as well as Matt probably does that Overtaker's probably got this in the bag, so they're just going to go for the constructors' point now. I think wrap that up.
I can imagine that's what it is. It's going to be all about the constructors now. Here's Holte, not having the greatest race 2, had an amazing race 1, but race 2 just doesn't look like it's gone in his favour.
No, he had a great first race, but I think he was collected in that first incident at the beginning. He's probably given him a bit of a...
Yeah, I believe he was. I think he was one of those that actually spun as a bit of a flash there. As there goes Dan. I believe Fury was just letting Dan by there.
There's 2 people yet to pit.
Ooh.
And we've got 1 more lap.
Who may these people be? Fury actually looks quite slow there as well.
Fury is one of the people to pit.
Oh, so whoa, that might have been why Fury let Unorthodox by, because he's having to pit this lap.
And it could possibly be... It's not Richie.
I want to say Peaceful.
No, Peaceful's pitted.
There you go, Fury's in the pits this lap. There's the overtaker, there's JM Grill. As he has actually got like 3 other cars behind him there. There's the Jaeger boys. They're going to want to try and get a bit of a move on, as Richie has just considerably caught up to these two. As Unorthodox actually the next car in line after that.
Yeah, everybody's pitted.
Yeah. So
that's everybody done.
That's everybody done for their pit stops. 8 laps left to go. Unorthodox still has the chance to be able to win this race, only being just under 4 seconds off of the race leaders. So
yep,
we could see, yeah, we could see another record being broken in one race, one night, which I think is another record in itself.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure the Love Island Bombshells points are going to be quite as good this race as they were last race.
No, they're not, but any points better than no points, I suppose. So as long as these two, the two Love Island...
Richie's having a great race in third. This is what we want to see from the French lads. Le Mans, the Speedy Frogs.
The Speedy Frogs.
There's only 2 seconds off Matt. They can see him in front. Dan can see Matt and Gary in front of him.
He can, and he's going to be really pushing for that position now, because that is essentially where he's going to want to be. He's going to want to be right at the front.
Overtaker's got the big boy Brazier breathing down his neck. We know he ain't going to give up.
Now, as we both know, the Overtaker can be quite a quick driver, but doesn't seem to be doing that well around this track.
He's allowed a day off.
He is allowed a day off. He's clocked out, and he's not coming back till next week.
That's one way of looking at it. The quickest man on track at the moment is Dan with a 1:36.1. He's nearly a second quicker than the next person, which is Matt.
Yes. It was Matt's... Oh!
Matt's took pole. Oh, Peaceful's
wow.
Round. So
what happened there, Van? It looks like they're switching positions, Gary and Matt are. Is it? I don't know if these two are racing or are they just trying to cruise it back.
Well, I wasn't trying to cruise it back with Dan 2 seconds up the road.
Well, you would have thought not, but Dan is Dan and Richie are just catching like mad.
Well, look at the top 3, all in Mercedes.
That is correct. They are all 3 of them are in the Mercedes. So the car that we actually thought would have done probably the worst around here is actually doing the best, pretty much. Well, second best. Here is James Grill, one of the other French Speedy Frogs, should I say. So,
here we go, down to a second and a half. It's getting tighter now.
It is getting tighter, and they're going to be...
I'm going to stay on these boys shortly.
Yeah, as there you go. They're fighting for position from what it looks like. There's that Matt, who they're actually going side by side, coming into this turn as no Matt lets Gary past again.
This could help Dan if Richie gets involved with these two. That could open something.
Oh
up
no,
again.
those two's had a
Dan and
collision.
Richard. Yeah, Dan and Richie just come together.
Wow.
Didn't actually see that.
As there's the overtaker.
Thank you,
So
Rudolph,
maybe
for the carrots, as Matt would say. Something like that anyway, something involved with carrots. Oh, I mentioned the C word, the thing that pulls that red thing along with a big fella in. Gutted. And he had to wait 4 more days, 5 more days, and that's the end of the month. Sorry, Kelly, you're not here.
As Matt may say, thank your mama for the carrots, but I'm going to say thank your dada for the potatoes.
Oh, I ain't had that one.
No, but I've just made it up on the spot, so it's good enough. As here is Little Leech coming up behind JM Grill, so Little Leech looking for that position to be able to get himself into P8. We're going to see if he gets it done. He looks for the inside, but then just doesn't manage to go for it. Just maybe pulling out of it. Taking his time from what it looks like. We're going to see how it goes around these final few turns.
Dan's dropped down to 4th.
Wow. So, Unorthodox not having the second race that he wanted to. Something that I can imagine will go in, as it looked like there was quite some form of a collision between the two, between Unorthodox and Richie. So
That's just handed overtaker though. Another place on the podium, kept his nose clean.
he has.
And it's allowed these lot to get 5 seconds up the road now, Matt and Gary. They must be chuckling to themselves as they drive off into the sunset.
They are, with only 5 laps remaining as well,
yeah.
So not very long for Dan to be able to catch up. And Overtaker, again, he's not got long to really catch up. But Unorthodox actually is pretty much on the back of Overtaker now.
It's not had the best of nights for old Biggs. He had a good quality first race, good quality second race. That's surprising as well because he's in the Audi, the same as Dan and Jamie and Little Leech.
Yeah. Here's Holty anyway. His car looks absolutely battered at the moment. But he's gaining on Little Leech here. There's actually 2 Mercedes as well. That looks like Fury. It is Fury.
Sutty, innit? No, it's Fury, you're right, yeah. Fury at the back.
Fury not having the race he was expecting either. We said
the 2 Ferrari boys, Sutty and Peaceful, have definitely not had the night I wouldn't have thought they would have wanted.
Now, Peaceful just seems to be getting into some little mistakes, and Sutty just trying to drive, but oh, that was a bit naughty.
Yeah, Little Leech, Holty.
Doing donuts in the middle of the track as well. So here he is, back onto the track.
Oh, Overtaker's got it down to 3 seconds with Matt.
So these two are going to need to kind of speed up a bit, or else the Overtaker is going to catch up to them. And with only 4 laps remaining, is the Overtaker really going to be able to do it?
Overtaker's last lap was a 1:35.3, Dan's was a 1:35.2, Matt's was a 1:37, so they are more than a second quicker a lap.
They're actually about 2 seconds quicker a lap.
They're going to run out of time, I reckon.
They might. We'll see, because they are about to start lap 16.
How's Little Leech getting on? Still holding the pack up? Yep.
He is. He's that's Fury there as well. We're going to see, is Fury going to go for that move? Fury is going to go for the move. And Fury actually manages to keep that stuck and is now in P8. And Little Leech down in P9. So not a great race from Little Leech today.
No, not to help the old teammate out. Avoiding bombshells.
as now these two can actually see the two Jaeger boys again. So these Jaeger boys need to kind of pick the pace up a bit, because they pretty much...
I think they should be alright, because I think Gary's first race finished 12th. The Little Leech is 9th, and then Dan obviously won, but then Matt's now 2nd, so they're still going to be slightly ahead, I think, after tonight's race, if it stays how it is.
I believe so. Actually, I think the Jaeger boys would actually go in front of the Love Island Bombshells after this race if they keep it how it is. I could be wrong with that though. Those two are going to try and keep their own race, while looks like an Orthodox and the Overtaker are just trying to really push to be able to get into P1 and 2. But these two are going to obviously be pushing for that first, the top step of the podium. They're really gaining now.
Yeah, they are.
As you can really see now. As I think Overtaker was in the gravel there.
They still want. See, Dan and Overtaker again, 135. These two, 137s.
Dan was also quicker than the Overtaker that lap. Those two, there was only a second quicker that lap. About a second and a half quicker. As here's some of the other guys on the grid. As his P4, not the race he wanted, but points nonetheless. Here's D Biggs again, another man who didn't want to have a bad race, and it's just all gone to shambles. Here's Fury, started on pole.
Right, here we go.
There we
3
go.
laps to go, and these boys are caught them.
So these boys need to really pick up the pace now. 3 laps, I believe, left to go.
Dan needs to sit back, watch these boys come together.
He does.
We don't want any of them to come together, really. We just want to see good racing.
We do. As you can really see that Overtaker and Dan are pulling to that. There's the Overtaker spinning around.
He took himself out of the equation.
So it looks like it might be Dan that's going to have to catch up to these two.
There he comes. Oh, Overtaker, mate.
So the Overtaker Dan in 5th now. Jamie Brazier in 4th. So a double 4th.
This should be interesting now. Dan's got to fight off the two boys. 2 Jaeger Motorsports.
Oh, there goes. That was Jamie, I believe.
That's Biggs. Biggs at the back.
Oh no, Biggs? Yes, it was.
Yeah, he's got the red wheels. Big boy's got the blue wheels.
As Dan there, only a second and a bit quicker now. So Dan actually dropping off the pace. As there's these Jamie and the Overtaker fighting now.
2 laps to go.
As the Overtaker looked like he hit a bit of a curb.
Yeah, he can just settle for 5th.
Oh, there was a car that spun out in the background there. I think that was Rich. No, it weren't. It was Biggs. His Biggs seems like he's really starting to struggle now. As Unorthodox nearly within a second of Matahimovic and Gary. No, he is within a second of Matahimovic. So here we go. This is the final few laps, and it's quite a lot about to happen potentially.
Or does Dan sit there and take 3rd place for the points? He's got to attack. He'll attack.
I think he will. I think it's a do or don't now.
He's got the Audi. The Audi's going to be better in the corners than the Mercs. The Mercs can't afford to push, I don't think, for the corners.
No. As it looks like Dan is literally right behind him now.
Last lap as well. This is going to be interesting.
This is going to be a very interesting final lap.
I'm not even going to pick my pen and paper up. It's going to stay clean.
These
overtook Sutty.
Always know there's an incident. Wow.
Bit of a coming together there. I'm surprised Fury didn't give the pace back. It's that lap 19, Fury.
So here we are. These are the 3 to watch for this final lap. We're going to see what happens here. As it looks like Dan is really... he's going to take his time, actually, from what it looks like. But he's only got this lap left. As he goes quite wide there as well. as I don't think he's going to do him. He might have just missed start.
I think he's going to wait for the corners. He ain't going to do it on the straights. He's going to wait for the corners.
Here he is. This is the first one of the hairpins.
See, this is how he gets up close.
He's going to maybe be able to get Mahimovic, but I think Gary may have just got this one, unless these are coming together. Is Dan really getting there? He's right behind Mahimovic there. He may look for the inside. No, he doesn't.
Matt's only got a break a bit too early, and Dan's gone right up his exhaust pipe.
Yeah, as it looks like Gary is going to be your race winner then. As Dan looks like he's quite comfortable. As here we go, Gary 131 is your race winner, with Mahimovic comes second and Unorthodox in P3. So not the race that Dan would have wanted. Then we've got Big Boy Brazier in P4 and the Overtaker in P5. And we've got Richie in P6. So not a bad race from Richie, I wouldn't have said. Here's SAeaosn, who's, woo, from what it looks like, finishing P7 for this race. And then Fury is, Fury looks like he's struggling. As there you go. That's Fury in 8th. Holty in 9th. Lulich in 10th. Where's Peaceful? Here's Peaceful coming around the penultimate corner to come around now the final corner here. As there is Peaceful in P11. J&M Grill coming home in P12 for a home race. And here's Smoky Devil quite far back. Only 33 seconds to go. As there's D Biggs as well without a rear wing as well on top of that. So not what D Biggs would have wanted, and not the race he would have wanted either. As here he is coming around the final few corners now. They're going to cross the line in 14th and Smoky Devil in P13.
It's going to be a tough one this week for Driver of the Day. You better ask the fans out there, as you're the special guest in the commentary box today for their Driver of the Day.
It is, as it's going to be a hard one, because it's been quite good racing from a few of the lads on here tonight, as I would have gave it Holty, but his race 2 wasn't as good as his race 1. I'm going to have to give it to... I'm going to give it to Matt. Who would you say your driver of the day is? Smithy.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to agree with you there with Matt. I'm gonna have to go with Matt on that one. He's had 2 solid races. I mean, Gary had a great second race, but race 1 wasn't his best race. Dan's had two goods, one and a 3. Yeah, I'll agree with you. I'll have to go with Matt on this one.
Yeah, and this is what your standings are going to look like at the minute. Overtaker still in front in the Drivers' Championship with only a 104-point lead. Then we've got Unorthodox in P2, Mahimovic in P3. Got Big Boy Bracer in P4 and Gary in P5. Then we've got Richie in P6, Peaceful Explosion in P7, Little Leech in P8, and Palava in P9. We've got Holty in P10. P11 is SAeaosn. D Biggs in P12. J&M Grill in P13. Fury in P14. And Smokey in P15. Then we head over to the Constructors, where Jaeger Motorsport is now P1 in the Constructors, with a 14-point gap between Love Island Bombshells in P2.
It says, I think you might need to refresh that. It says 6 on my screen.
Oh. I apologise for that. As there we go. 6 points, should I say, sorry. To the Love Island Bombshells. So, nonetheless, they have pulled some absolute points over that last race. Then we've got the Overmook Disco Face Racing in P3. The Ginsters are a proper Cornish pasty in P4. Simplay Racing in P5. The Speedy Frogs in P6. Smoking Hot Racing in P7. And Teletubby Motorsport in P8. As we're going to go to the top 3 drivers, as we're going to start with P3, which is Unorthodox, and the start of that race was not great, was it, Dan?
The start wasn't actually too bad, to be honest, mate. It wasn't an overall bad race, to be fair. Just silly little errors from myself, to be honest, mate. But no, right on to the Jaeger boys. They did what they needed to do. I was hoping they were going to trip over one another, but they nearly did a couple of times, but it just wasn't enough in the end.
As you say, you had a few incidences. It did actually look like you had contact with, I believe it was Richie, a few laps before the end. Would I be right in saying that?
I don't actually know. I didn't feel nothing, but both our cars kind of, like project cars is in a minute, it's just being a bit weird. I got close to the rear of him. He went round. I must have given him a slight tap, but from my end, it didn't feel like it. But I apologise to Richie. It was nothing intentional, and just sloppy race from me. I could have won this race, but just sloppy driving.
And how do you reckon you'll do at Silverstone next week?
Oh, to test the track. Absolutely hate it. Silverstone, any British track, there's not one good British track out there, bar Knock Hill and Thruxton. But other than that, I dislike Silverstone. The Audi is probably going to be slow there because it's all about power. So we could take what we get. The only thing that I'm really looking forward to is Brands Hatch. And other than that, it's just trying to keep Matt behind for as long as possible. This was meant to be the round where we extend more points, but not enough by the looks of things. But either way, well done to the boys in the top 2. And me and Little each got to get our act together because we're behind again.
Well done for your 3rd place on Orthodox. And then we're going to go to second to Matt Himovic. And Matt, you're first in the Constructors as of the minute. You and Gary has just pulled some absolute immense points over that last race.
Yeah, first of all, I want to apologise to Dan. I gave him a slight tap on the rear. I had a wiggle myself under the brakes and just didn't slow down enough when I tapped down, so I'd like to apologise to that one. But now, great, good race. Dan had pace, so we knew that we had to do a job, and Bert in P1, he managed to not spin 3 or 4 times into the side of me and managed to hold it together, but it was kind of sitting behind him. Gary's not won for 2 seasons, so I thought, he's got to have a win eventually, and with this possibly being Project Cars last season, let him go out on a bow. His first podium this season as well, because we had to invite him to the party, so he's had a bit of a poor season as Gary, but we've come back. He's worked hard, he's chipped away there, and no team orders. I wasn't going to take the win away from Gary. He did the hard work early on. A great pit stop, put me up his rear, otherwise I'd have been nowhere near him in this race.
You were like a barrier, weren't you, that race, just for him to bounce off and keep on track?
Like I say, Smith, the pit stop was that good that I was 5 seconds behind him before the pits. The pit stop was that good that I managed to be, right up his rear.
You were quick on the old stop.
It was Gary's race. I wasn't going to take that one away from him. The championship's still on in terms of second place. Me and Dan can still mathematically win it, but Overtaker's really got a hand on it now. So, it was about let Gary have his moment. He don't get many, bless him.
And what do you think you'll do at Silverstone next week?
We'll try and give it our best shot. I don't mind Silverstone. It's no Donington Park, but it's not bad. We'll try and give it our best shot. And I'm looking forward to next week. Brands a bit hit and miss, but then we go to the great circuit for the Mercedes. So 3 to go, 6 points in front of the Love Island Bombshells, 19 behind Dan in the drivers. It's all stuff to play for.
And well done on your second place, Gary.
Cheers, boys. Well done, Dan and Gary.
And Gary being your race winner. First podium this season, just like Matt Himovic has said. And Gary, I bet you're ecstatic with that.
Yeah, very happy with that. Like I said, ain't been in the comms box for a long time. Don't really know what to say, to be honest with you. Yeah. Like I said, me and Matt was sort of my wingman, but to be fair, I think when we were actually racing against each other, we seemed to I seemed not to mess up as much as when he was giving me a gap. I seemed to mess up, but yeah, it's all part of racing, isn't
it? How would you say your car actually felt during race 2?
Car felt alright till the pit stop, to be fair, and I had a scruffy outlap. Matt managed to gain some time.
Oh, has just disappeared there.
We've lost him.
Oh, has he left?
The desk.
Oh,
I'm
there
still
he is.
here. The controller seems to not want to stay on my desk, so yeah, as I was saying, this season's been more worrying about the points of the team. You know, I can't put the effort in that I used to, having the newborn, and yeah, I'm just trying to pick up points for the team and grab the constructors again. So yeah, all good.
What would you say your Silverstone next week will be like?
I don't know. I'll probably have a quick 15-minute turn of the wheel, and then yeah, we'll turn up about 8:20 next week, and then see what happens. That's been the story of the season this year. So yeah, we'll see what we can do.
As well done for your position at your first place in race 2. And any final words from you, Smithy? As I don't think we've actually got any driver of the day for the comments for this race.
No, not much from me to say. It's a good bit of racing. Race 2 had a bit of excitement. Shame we didn't have no wet weather. And it's been a pleasure having you here tonight.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I've loved being back in the comms box, and yeah, but yeah, everything has to come to an end, and this week has come to an end, and it's on to next week, where we're going to be live with Matthew Duffin and Dan Davis live next Wednesday for Silverstone for your Pro-Am, and Kelly and Clive, so not me next week, but Kelly will be back with Clive to be live next week for your Pro Action on Thursday for Silverstone. And we just want to say thanks for watching Simplay Motorsport. See you next time.